Hello guys, Garcia here. Welcome back to the Barabbah's Addon. So let's continue here guys. So in the last episode we completed a bunch of quests here in downtown. So now the only secondary quest we need to complete here is the Lair quest, so let's go. So we are using Presence and Frozen Object here, which is the third level of Temporis, the new discipline for my true Bruja here. So I'm going to use a bunch of Presence blood points here. And then we're going to focus solely on Frozen Object. So let's go, let's not waste any time. So no reason to be stealthy here. So Frozen Object is only going to have like a like obvious application down here in large groups. So if we are facing like 4 or 5 guys and some of them like will have guns obviously, we can totally just use Temporis in one of them, then start fighting the other ones and use Temporis on the other one when like the cooldown is complete, you know? I was going to feed on this guy, but I forgot that there's a bunch of other guys here. Come on, I can do this. Alright, so the first level, we obviously don't need Temporis. Not like these guys are going to give me in trouble. Alright, at least our guy is already dressed to kill here. My man. I talked about this before, but you guys know the comedian Eddie Griffin. If I'm not mistaken, that is his name. He's a great comedian from the UK. He's a brilliant guy. He's very good. And his act is also very clean, you know, he's very like family friendly, I would say. But I'm pretty sure he's like a trans person, if I'm not mistaken. So he's like, he never like transitioned, but he's like I think he defines himself as a lady, I'm not sure about that. Or he's just a guy that happens to like, you know, dress as a lady and something like that. I'm not well versed in gender and like sexuality stuff in terms of like who likes who and all that stuff. I do support it, I don't really care, it doesn't bother me at all. But I wish I knew exactly what his status is on that to talk about him. But he was like the most mainly comedian I've ever seen in my life when I was like in my 20s and I was like in a comedian like binge, you know, I was just searching for any comedian that was good and I was downloading like a bunch of stand-up specials. And he has a stand-up special that's pretty long. It's more often like a theatrical act more than a stand-up special. It's a very long show, like 1 hour and a half, if I'm mistaken. And the show was called Dress to Kill. And it was so cool because he's like, the show is called Dress to Kill, so you're immediately drawn to like, your first thought is like what he's going to wear during the show, right? And he's wearing all like sorts of like dresses and different things like that. And it never once felt like weird or out of place for the act. It was like kind of perfect in a way. Oh, I should have killed the guy. I don't know why I didn't do that. But that actually enhanced the special a lot because I've never seen that before, or I had never seen at that point something like that. So in my 20s, we were talking like 13, 14 years ago, which in terms of like internet speed is insanely like, it's like Jurassic times, you know? But obviously this special is like from the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, or beginning of the 90s, so the guy was like a true like trailblazer, you know what I mean? And the show is great. I really enjoyed that show. I think he's like one of the all-time greats in my opinion, to be honest. To this day, he's really good. He's not one of those guys that comes off as annoying or like professorial, you know, he's not trying to like convince you of anything, he's just telling his jokes and he has his opinions and stuff. And you just do that with that what you will, you know what I mean? You can agree or disagree and so on. Alright, I'm taking tons of damage here. Alright, you stay right there. So sometimes Temporis will kill these guys, other times Temporis will just paralyze them. Almost forgot about the car stereo here. I was too busy talking about Mr. Griffin here. Or Mrs. Griffin, I'm not sure. And as I said before, I'm going to say that again. I don't give a fuck, you know? If a person wants to be called something, I will call them what they wish to be called. You know, if you wish to transition or not, sure, you know, I don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. As I told you guys about this before, my brother's gay. Has been gay since he was born. So it's such a normal thing to me. So it's so weird that so many people have like problem with that. I don't really care. It's like, oh, he's tall, he's gay, he's fat, he's like, he has big ears, he's black, he's white, whatever, you know? Who cares? The only thing that bothers me is like people that are annoying as fuck. But there's one thing that you can say about annoyance, the annoyance and like people being a pain in the ass, especially on the internet. There's no race, no gender, and no sexuality that has a monopoly on that. Every single group has annoying people in it. Some groups have way more than others, obviously. But for sure, there's no single group that like is the one annoying group that doesn't exist. Everybody has members that they wish they didn't have in the group, you know. Alright, so I'm going to have to heal by myself a little bit here. So the main problem with frozen object, obviously, is that it costs 2 blood points, which is never good. Alright, can I get away with feeding on this guy? No. Okay, so I'm just going to heal a little bit. Let me chill. Alright, so that's enough trance talk for now. Let's go. Alright, so what should I do here? Yeah, I need to either feed on that guy. Yeah, or I should have killed the other guys first to make sure that the coast is clear. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. I know you can do it. Come on. We have presence on. We should be able to do this. Thank you. See? There you go. I already taught you guys this strategy. Just wish and your dreams will come true. You remember that guy that released that documentary many years ago? That the entire basis of his philosophy was if you wish for things, they will show up in your life. If you like mentalize or visualize all of your, like an expensive car, you will eventually be able to buy it. Do you remember this guy? Like Deepak Chopra? I don't remember if the documentary was him or the guy. These guys are all the same. Oh, this guy resisted my tempors. Jesus. Come on, the tongue guys are pretty strong today. Alright, but we did it. Oh, hey. Coast is clear. Alright, it worked. So it's very difficult to balance temporis with presence and like paying attention to the other guys and talking about a bunch of random stuff too. On a language that you don't like completely fully speak top to bottom. So you have to think what you're going to say. So yeah, it's sorry. But yeah, the quest was done, so there you go. So I was talking about that because we had my mother had her birthday today. She is 62 years old now. Still pretty young and like lively, you know what I mean? And my brother came here, and obviously he's a gay fella. And we've been talking a lot these last few days about Emilia Perez. So if you guys don't know, in the Oscars, there's a movie that is running for like in 13 categories. I think even like either like the same number or more than Lord of the Rings: Return of the King, which is crazy. And it's a movie about like a cartel leader, like a gang member, you know, that transitions into a woman and kind of wants to leave his past behind and so on. So the movie kind of implies that if you transition into a woman, you can leave your past behind. So it implies that the character in the story just like transition into a woman mainly to escape like the fact that he needs to like atone for his sins, that he needs to go to jail and so on, that he's a criminal, you know what I mean? So a lot of trans people hated that movie. And a lot of like, just regular people that watched didn't like the movie at all because it's also a musical. It's a musical about a cartel leader that transitions into a woman. And also is a movie that it's supposed to be like telling a Mexican story, a story that like develops in Mexico. But it's directed by a French guy and was filmed in France with 0 Mexican actors. It's just kind of funny. Reminds me of that movie with John Wayne. I don't know if you guys remember that. That movie that he was like Genghis Khan. I think it was John Wayne, right? Like more like towards the end of his career. And John Wayne back then was the biggest Hollywood star in the world, you know. but obviously as American as it gets, right? I think he was American, so obviously doing a Mongolian like conqueror with the guy is kind of silly, you know what I mean? It's kind of ridiculous. All right, so let's try the finance thing. So we've been playing this for a couple episodes now, right? So the idea here is I'm going to put 3 points in finance here. I'm going to use the book. I'm going to talk to Larry, or maybe I need to use the book first. We'll see. All right, so the book is here. Right now I can use it. So I just saved, right? Let me save again just in case. Okay, so I'm going to put the point first. There you go. Now I'm going to use the book. Can I still use the book? Yes. Now I'm going to talk to Larry. Let's see if it works.
Partner.
Hey, brother. Is that a briefcase?
Outstanding. Yeah, that's beautiful. I'll just drop this off to the new. Yo, man, gotta go live with this turtle.
All right, so. Oh, sorry. All right, so haggle 6. There you go, guys. It does work. So that's a fine strategy to use here on Barabbah's Addon. Like, it's not like incredibly necessary, but if you are going for like a ranged character, which obviously as you can see here, I'm not going for that at all, then definitely having extra money is good, especially because Barabbah's Addon has the weapons mod too, right? So we have different types of ranged weapons here. By the way, I should sell these. So because of that, if you want to like always walk around loaded with like full bullets, having extra haggle is definitely the way to go. And it's very non-expensive, as I told you guys, especially if you pick True Bruja here, that has the extra finance point in one of his stories available. But, or histories, I always like mess up the choice here. So yeah, it is viable to do that. Like I said, not necessary, but I was like, I'm going to do this anyway, so whatever. So alright, so let's just go home real quick. Let me see if I have new dialogues with Heather. I am not going to let Heather die again. We did that the last one, and I was very annoyed by it. So let's go do it. So by the way, it started raining here, so I apologize if the mic is picking that up. And also if my power goes out here, which happens a lot when it rains here. It's Brazil after all, third world country problems, you know what I mean? So if that happens, I'm going to just edit the video here and we'll continue. Alright. So the reason why I'm more lively today than normal is that, yeah, I talked to my brother today and we had the party here and so on. But I'm recording this way earlier than I usually do. So I'm not like sleepy, you know what I mean? So that's why. And also I was drinking some Coke earlier. So that gave me the extra like sugary energy that I'm using right now.
Anything I can do for you?
No dialogues. Wait here, don't worry. Okay, so let's see if we have some emails. So we have the new music for the skyline here. Alright, so let me drop some stuff here. So here, okay. What else? This is the Brawl book. I don't need the Brawl book. I could drop it here just to sell it later. The Dodge book's here too, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're good. Well, I should have sold these two. Ah, whatever. Not like I need the money. I already have 2,000 here. Okay. So next is Grout, right? So I'm trying to think of something that I forgot to do here in downtown, but I don't think there's anything else. When I usually do these, I usually start the episode from like either the beginning of the day or just after the day, which means that I usually do everything that I need to do in terms of secondary quests in the same episode, unless I need to skip, like for example, the Plague Bearer quest that I had to in Extreme, for example. But most of the time I can do them like at the same time. So I'm gonna go with the logic that I already did everything here, but I'm not sure. Oh yeah, so I have points to spend here. So I could go for presents, but I don't really need it right now. I'm not going to read it in the museum. I'm not going to need it in Grout's mansion. So yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with that. So let me think. What else should I do here? Dexterity, definitely. Let's go. Alright, I still have 6. That still must be enough for something. I could put one in security, but we're going to get the security book, right? Yeah, I'm not going to put a point security then. Dodge. There you go. Not bad. I don't need hacking yet. The only reason to have hacking 6 at this point here would be to get the loot from the 3rd floor of the skyline. But honestly, I don't need it right now. Money is very secondary to my character here. That's one of the main reasons why I love doing a melee character, using melee characters, because you don't need money really most of the time. Sir?
You. What are you?
His eyes are awesome.
Out now.
Sure.
You should get.
So yeah, one of the things that I like the most about this mod is just so simple. The eyes. The eyes are amazing. I already received a couple of comments of other people that also like the eyes of the character of the mod. Just give them like that extra vamp vibe, you know what I mean? That said, it also makes them more unsettling, which means that they could be like a more prone to violate the masquerade, I guess. That was a mistake. That was totally a mistake. I should have activated presence first. But hey, at least I was able to kill the lady. Alright, let's go. So, there's no point in putting activating a bunch of presence points early here because... Alright, I'm going to froze that guy. Or freeze that guy, sorry. Froze the name of the skill. Alright, so he's dead, as you can see. So there's 3 effects. You can either kill the enemy instantly. You can either do what I did here, which is you freeze the enemy and he dies after a while. Or you can just straight up fail. Sometimes they can resist, you know.
It is quite peculiar, the happenings I've been made to witness for my supernatural longevity. I am thinking of one unfortunate phenomenon in particular, of unique interest to my station, both as a professional and as a sufferer of this vampiric condition. It seems the stream of time has begun to erode the moorings of my chosen course of study.
Oh, I should have. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oh, this guy dealt a lot of damage. Jesus.
I find myself in an era that overlooks the physical component of psychological
right, so you guys know,
time and again in favor of
Wing
the
Nation here?
practices of Freud. Phrenology,
What
lactopintilism, and the rest of the old guard has fallen
Portuguese
by the
phrase here to give me
champions all silenced
boost?
in death, with my unique exception.
Come on.
Would that I could make my voice heard.
Sometimes I can make this work immediately, other times I need a bunch of tries.
I returned to popular medical discourse 50 years after my apparent death. No, better that I continue my studies into the psychoses in secret. One day, may I hold up my own cure as validation of the methods.
Sure.
I am confident no cure for my condition, or another unfortunate casualty to tide of time, insane asylums. I lament their loss not only as brokerage houses for the breadth and depth of human psychoses, but also I shall mourn the disappearance of that peculiar environment present only in an insane asylum. That palpable atmosphere of blistered brains and churning bowels, the odoriferous melange of freely flowing bodily humors, that gently
I have no idea what that word
rolling
means, but
cacophony
it sounds
of
cool.
distant sobs and screams, the muttered cursing at perceived enemies, and the blissful gurgling of the lobotomized. Like a newborn babe discovering the sky.
This guy's so poetic.
I shall still find test subjects
or dramatic,
as
depending
as
on
I
how you
find
look
bloody sustenance in the night, but this climate, I fear, may never be replicated.
Well, so let me put more presents up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I didn't get much, but whatever. Okay. Invisible head there. So to this day, that's super funny. I mean, for me, obviously. I'm a huge horror fan. I talk about horror a lot during my playthroughs here. And one of the things that I find funny is that I've never seen to this day a good insane asylum horror at all. Not a single one. You have like horror movies that are great that happen to have like a sequence or like a part of the movie in an insane asylum, but you never ever see one that is totally based on one or in one that is actually good.
Often I reflect
Like the point being like an insane asylum that is like on, like it's, how should I say? It is actually open and working, not an insane asylum that has been like abandoned for like 50 years or something like that and became like a hotspot for ghosts or something like that. I mean like a guy stuck in an asylum in like the 1700s, like a good horror movie about that. There's some, but there's not a single one that is actually good, which is insane because just the idea of being stuck in an asylum, even if you actually have a condition that requires you to be there, is so terrifying. Because there's been plenty of games that are great. I just played Outlast on the channel, the greatest horror game of all time. It is on an asylum. Not necessarily an insane asylum, but it is a place in which they keep the unfortunate people. Some that need to be there, a bunch of others that don't. But horror movies, not really. It's crazy. Like how the hell, you know? One of those super obvious ones. That said though, it's so difficult to create good horror movies, even with things that are super basic. Oh, I forgot to do the rest. Like for example, exorcism movies. If it was so easy to like replicate stuff, there would be like 10 movies that are as good as Exorcist or even more, or even better. But there isn't a single one that is as good, not even close. There's a few decent ones, like The Exorcism of Emily Rose is really good.
After
but it's not a movie
decades
about
of
the exorcism.
solitary study into this affliction, I have learned that it is by no means my
But
role.
really, it's not that
Indeed,
easy.
the city is home to an entire
So even though
society
I wish there were
similarly
other horror movies
individuals
that would
with whom I've only recently made
like
contact.
work in certain locations
They
and
are
with certain like
understandably
mechanisms.
standoffish sort by and large, but I have
At the
been
end of the
able to
day,
confirm
I do
with them
know,
that the
I do understand that
condition
it's difficult to
is
make it work.
vampirism, which apparently
It's very hit or
comes in
miss.
a multitude of strains, each with a spectacular set of symptoms such as invisibility.
Alright, so I got the yeah.
And
Okay.
even a sort of lycanthropy.
So wing it.
Through numerous official
Fake it till you make
interactions
it.
with the governing body of this secret society,
one,
I have concluded
two,
that their fundamental understanding of the vampiric condition is
almost
woefully
faster.
lacking and mired in suspicion and pseudo-religious dogma that would make a Turk balk for. I have accepted the role of Primogen for Clan Malkavian, the dreadfully winsome label applied to the particular strain of vampirism I suffer. So named for some supposed vampire father figure of old.
I'm not going to need presents
Or
anymore here, so let's
poppycock
just
grown from a backward culture that seems interminably drawn to children's tales and the fiction of Victorian romance, when it should concern itself with the science behind their suffering. No matter, for I have taken this office for no greater reason than to advance my research. I must make mention, however, that even among my would-be peers in this governing body of vampires, the level of paranoia and superstition is frightening. Their intelligence is not the question, oh, indeed. As they courted me for this appointment, I had to suspect that their overtures were hand-tailored to what must be my
Didn't work?
obvious infatuation with reason, for the devil would do well to have such honey-tongued tempters. Even so, I could not help but notice the dressing of language these vampire leaders chose for their siren song. Whether it is born of habit, from addressing their unwashed, ill-educated subjects, or from their own deep-seated beliefs, their linguistic flourishes belie a faith in superstition over the providence of empirical reason that must be an all-pervasive theme in this.
That is probably the best part of the dialogue from the doc here. Okay, so I don't need to deal with these guys here, so might as well just go and get the stuff by myself here. I mean, I should have enough points here. Just put a point in dexterity, so I should be able to open this. There you go. Give them blood packs here. Alright. So yeah, the reason why I think not only the asylums were so scary, but because it was very common that in the last, like, probably not in the last, by has been many decades since this is not used anymore, but lobotomies, those terrify me because it's like in 5 minutes, like a doctor can like destroy your life by just putting like a fucking stick, a metal stick in your brain and just scraping it, just destroying it. The whole idea that that was even like a practice, because if you say, oh, that's something that used to happen in like the 1300s, okay, I get it. But though that's something that happened until like pretty recently, there must be people alive to this day that were lobotomized, you know? And it's absolutely terrifying. So everything that messes with your ability to actually interact with the world are the most terrifying things for me. So if you ask me, would you be more afraid to lose a leg or to lose your vision? I would say if I have to choose, just cut the legs off. I would keep my vision, thank you. That's the first thing I would think of. Because you can still live a pretty normal life without your legs. But you cannot live a normal life like you used to if you're blind. You just can't. It's just a completely different proposition, you know what I mean? The only people that feel like being blind is normal is the people that have been born blind or have been blind since forever. Because for them, life is normal as it is for me or you. But for a person that acquired the condition later, it's just brutal to deal with, you know, it's very difficult. Alright, so yeah, we're gonna do this. Well, that's the Kent Island Ryan like ID here, but I don't need to get that. Hey, that is something that I never tried before. Can we show the card to Patty? Never thought about that. Why did that never occur to me? Because I usually do all the quests first, then I go and continue to do like the main quests. But maybe it's one of the versions of the quest. You can like just show her the ID to prove to her that he's dead and you have the ID, you know what I mean? I just killed the guy here already. Man, how the hell did I never think about that? Not even once. That's crazy. Well, if someone that's watching the video right now has done that before, tell me in the comments if it's actually possible. We might try that in a future playthrough, just to see what happens. Oh, sorry. Lady, I guess. Not nice. I love the room with no windows. But this time is a deliberate choice. Bye. You know what would be great to use as... Oh, I forgot I need to touch the door first, sorry. What would be great to use in a horror movie? The Sabbat initiation ritual would be cool. The one that you need to dug out from your, like, your own grave. Not dug out. You need to dig out of your own grave. That's what I meant. Dug out would mean that someone dug you out, right? I guess. Learning English. So imagine, like, wake up, you need to dig out. You're like kind of frenzied because you haven't, like, I don't think they give blood to these guys before they go out of the grave. So they are basically either about to frenzy or they are frenzied in that state, right? They need to fight each other to death, and the one that survives is the one that stays in the pack, right? Or becomes a member of the pack, a member of the Sabbat, and so on. Such a cool idea. It would be so cool. So if you do like a show like Bloodlines, you could do it like, tell the story of like one Kuei-Jin, one Camarilla guy, one Anarch guy, and one Sabbat guy. It would be so cool.
I am no longer safe. I know,
know
it.
it.
The voices have proven themselves
where's the
authentic, and I
ranger?
have withdrawn from the Vampire Society entirely. My absence will no
My
doubt
lady?
draw attention, but I could no longer hold my fragile composure around the ravenous eyes of my vampire peers, especially Garcia. The voices compelled me to make what I fear is a Faustian bargain, but I had to, for their demands are constant and merciless. I have secluded myself within the mansion.
Sure.
I know he will strike out at me. He will go to any length to achieve his ambitions, and he knows it, I know. I have taken precautions to protect my belief.
That is very interesting. Another thing that I never thought about before, but just occurred to me now. The doc actually never records anything that is related to the sarcophagus in his audio files, as far as I know. Audio files of the game, I mean. So there's nothing that the doc recorded that you can play on the mansion that tells us about him knowing about the entire plot. He just says that he knows. That's it, but not exactly what he knows. But he knows that I know, and so on. Because he was like safety first, so he didn't. He actually says in one of the recordings, right? I shall not commit this to recording because of my personal safety or something like that. You know, something to that effect. Obviously, he's going to say in a way more poetic and like extravagant way than I would, but you know what I mean.
Lay low and be cleansed by the flames!
You again. I'm not Grout.
Out is dead?
Yes?
Pity it could not be by my hand.
Sure.
As to burn,
Unfehlbar.
tell them let this righteous...
Alright. Yeah, I like Bach more because of the prelude bot. But he still can be annoying. Oh, that was a lucky hit there. Oh, wrong door. Man, I think I committed like 3 or 4 mistakes that I usually don't here. Just because I was talking too much. But that's okay, as long as I can keep doing the quest here with no problems, we'll be fine. Hey dude. Ooh. Not good, let's go. Let's see how it's going to look when we have the close-up here. That's my man right there. Gendo Ikari, or Ikari Gendo. If you don't know who that is, just Google it. You'll see. The color of the clothing is different, but it is that guy. Absolutely. Alright, so he's going to ask us to go to the museum, but we are going to go back home too to talk to good old Heather. I think the next dialogue is the one that she's going to bring a person for us. McFly, the guy.
There. Sure.
Thank you. I could be wrong about that, obviously. Hey.
The Primogens... Grout's dead.
What?
What?
Yes, that was deep.
Bach! Bach is a... Look at me. It means I need to you're becoming... The manifest... Yes, of course. Here.
Thank you.
Here are the keys to the front door of the museum.
Alright.
There is a degree of immediacy attached to this task. Work fast.
Alright. The reason why I like LaCroix so much is because the voice actor has so much range. He understood the character so well. It's insane how well he portrays the character. It's really crazy. Even like small phrases, small tidbits, like fit so well. The guy deserves like an Emmy for this. Alright, so home. Wrong side. Let's go. Alright, I need to remember to get the item for Pisha here. Alright, so now we have a dilemma here. Because I don't have enough hacking to deactivate the cameras, I don't think. yeah, I'm not going to have it. But I do have a skill that allows me to try, because I'm going to have time. So I have the first level that like paralyzes the enemy for like 10-15 seconds. That's enough to input the commands there if I type fast, which admittedly is not my specialty, but you know what I mean. That said, as I said, I just don't have enough hacking, because I chose point to put a point in dodge instead, which I think is better right now. So yeah, we are just going to try to evade the cameras. If that doesn't work, we're just going to do the old school way and just blast. Not blast, just walk around and pretend that the guys are not there.
Finally, you're back.
I'd rather you showed me your love with gifts.
I almost forgot. I gotta call.
Oh, college loan check. Thank you.
I'll try to get more, you know, when I can.
Thank you.
With pleasure.
Sorry, I did not want to do that. But I'm recovering from aggravated damage here, so okay. Okay, so after the museum, I think is the important one. Or maybe it's the first one in Hollywood, I'm not sure. So we're not going to have emails right now. Only those like that we are sent randomly, yeah. Like quote unquote randomly, right? Okay. Alright, so I read I think it was yesterday. I think it's a rumor at this point, or maybe it's like already a fact. But they are bringing Matthew Lillard back to the Scream franchise. So if you don't know who I'm talking about, Matthew Lillard is Shaggy, the actor that does Shaggy and the voice and stuff. And who was also in the Scream franchise. So he's in the first movie. He's one of the two villains of the movie. The twist in the first Scream is that there's two killers instead of one. And I'm pretty sure he died in that movie. I'm almost 100% sure, but they are going to bring him back to the franchise. I don't know how they're going to do this. And he's also involved with the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise too. They are already working on the next one, I'm pretty sure. So I don't know if it's actually true, but if it is, it's awesome. He's one of my favorite actors of all time. So I'm glad he got the gig again. Okay, so we did what I need to do. So let's go to the museum. All right. So I don't remember if this version we actually can talk to the lady on the outside here, the mystic lady, the clairvoyant. No, she's not here. But the shop is here, or the former shop, I guess. So due to unforeseen, though fortunate circumstances, the business of Madame Leota has been translocated onto, I don't know what that means. Translocated on top of the Santa Monica Pier, I guess. Oh, sorry. Alright, that one was tough to read. So when I play a game that requires a lot of reading, like I played Outlast, and Outlast requires a lot of reading because most of the story in the game is sold by the files that you find around the asylum. So when I see a word that I don't know like what the word means, my brain has to replace that word right away with something else that I know it should fit on that spot. So it's like a medical condition, or like something like related to law or like economics or something, like a term that I really don't know what it means, because maybe even like English speaking people might have trouble with that particular term, you know what I mean? Then I just right away in my brain need to replace it with something else just to make sure that I understood what was said. So that makes you slow down a little bit. But everybody that speaks a second language goes through that. So every person has a different method to like deal with situations like this, because no one speaks like two languages top to bottom. That doesn't exist at all. Even a person that grew up with the two languages since birth, you will speak one of them more than the other one. So you will be more skilled in one than the other one, even if it's like 1%. And that disparity sometimes will show up, regardless of your like how much you practice and so on. So for example, in the Second World War and stuff, a lot of people either had to hide or had to relocate to one of the countries in what would become later the Iron Curtain from the Soviet Union. So a lot of people had to learn like Polish and Russian and variations of those languages, like in Ukrainian. I don't know if Ukrainian is like a language, but you know what I mean. So all of those languages there in that region. So later, when they returned to their countries and stuff, most of those people completely forgot how to speak those languages because they just didn't have contact with the language anymore, and they didn't have any reason to. So the language is like speaking a second language is like having an extra body part. So if you don't practice, the body part, or in this case the language, will atrophy. It will just like, you know, wither away. So you need to keep practicing, you know what I mean? Oh, I didn't get the key yet. Wait. Let's just go through here. Okay, so because of that, for example, I talked about this before. I practiced Japanese for like 1.5 years. So I had classes and stuff. So because I didn't practice as much as I would like after I stopped that, so I forgot a bunch of stuff. But I still remember a ton of stuff because I watch Japanese animations all the time. So I didn't forget everything. But there were a few people in those classes that didn't have any idea about like the... Oh Jesus! Oh, the guy's actually here. I've never seen that before. That's cool.
Hey, where'd they go?
Oh, that's new. I don't think I ever saw that before. It's not the bathroom guy. It's the other guy. The guy from the corridor. That's cool. I went to the wrong side there. So there were people in my class in Japanese that had no idea about anything about Japan. The only thing that they knew is that like there's a city called Tokyo there. Just that's it. Or like sushi or something dumb like that. But like not a single like thing about the culture or TV or like anything like that. Arigato, that's it. They know how to say thank you. But that's about it. I think we're good. We are, okay. Alright, so let's just go down. Oh. So I do remember a lot of stuff from the classes and stuff because I'm always kind of practicing Japanese. Because first of all, Portuguese and Japanese sound the same. They literally sound exactly the same. So it's very easy for a Brazilian to learn Japanese and vice versa because they sound exactly the same. They just use the syllables in different ways. And since I'm always dealing with like Japanese culture and stuff because of me enjoying Japanese animations and games and all that, so you kind of keep the knowledge fresh in your head, the language I mean. Which is something that doesn't happen with a lot of people that learn new languages. That's the biggest mistake, not practicing and not like keeping the language in your life in some way. You will lose it if you don't practice it.
Hey, who's there?
It's coming, right? It's turning, okay. I'm gonna wait. Oh! That's messed up.
Hey, who's there?
That was an awful set of circumstances there. So I'm pretty sure I don't have enough. I'm gonna try. But I'm pretty sure it's 6 here. Hammers, 1. Yeah, there you go. So 6. So as I said, I don't have it. So whatever, it's fine. We'll just go through here, I guess. Oh, this side doesn't have the camera. Sure. It's turning. Alright, I don't know which side it is. The whole thing, but whatever. Alright, I need to enter here. Alright. So one part of the problem dealt with here. Okay, let's wait. Oh. Ooh, that's so annoying. It was almost perfect. But don't worry, the guards are blind. Oh, wrong side. Alright, it's turning. Email. Oh, sorry. I don't know how much I need for this one, to be honest. 23.58. I'm going to break the wall here to avoid the camera. Problem is that a guard comes through here pretty frequently. And the word almost didn't get out of my mouth there. So I'm just wait. When I see the guy passing through here. Well, it's taking a while. Oh great, I was too close. Just break that. That one's turning. Alright, going there is going to be actually be a little annoying. Great. Ooh, okay, I don't know how that worked, but it did. It shouldn't have. Alright, there's another version of the... Another way to get the code here. Oh, I got stuck. Go. Did it? Okay. I heard a guard on the background, but I don't know which one, so just keep going, I guess. There's a fellow here, but he's not close. Alright, this is annoying, so let's just save here. Ooh, Jesus, man. Ooh, alright. That was close as hell. It didn't need to be. But hey. Alright, so this should be scholarship point number 4 here. We shall see if everything goes right here. Okay.
I can't understand why.
So Beckett,
I'm an art.
what happened?
Since it's
Did you get your exam in?
oh, I
Gehenna,
Armag-
Antediluvians, Cain, Thin Bloods, I Don't You Believe,
As I s- humans
Other Signs, Fascinating.
for 300.
There you go, got it. We're mutations with powers like in comic books.
The extent to which movies have shaped modern belief systems is extraordinary.
Indeed.
Still, it's a better explanation than a divine sentence for manslaughter.
Also agreed.
Life's a splendid thing to indulge in. Pity we're dead.
Yes.
Well, my work here is stolen away into the night.
I was just talking about LaCroix and the way he delivers his lines, but this guy is elite too. Really? Alright, so we have 13 here. So let me think. So I should put that point in wits right now. So that means that I don't need to worry about computer anymore, basically. Because the 2 other points are accounted for. Dexterity is okay. Oh yeah, the book, I forgot. There you go. So lockpicking is great too. Persuasion has been great since the beginning and just got a scholarship point. I think we're doing fine here. I know I talked a lot of bullshit during this episode, but I am paying attention, don't worry about it. You need to pay attention to make this game work. If you build your character sheet wrongly here, you just get stuck in a few places, for the most part. And also the muscle memory is just is absolutely real for this game, for me at least. Alright, so it's going to send us to Hollywood here, so I think we can get finally get the dialogue to save Heather here. We shall see.
What?
See you, Chunk. My man. Albatross something something.
The folly of leadership is I pronounce the blood hunt. At least I stole. The Nosferatu. I want him found. The Nosferatu. Hollywood's Baron is an find Gary.
Sure. My man. Also, I should probably sell my stuff already. I don't need to hoard them or hoard it because obviously I'm not going to get more haggle points during the rest of the game. So usually I sell these like after Chinatown. But I'm gonna go back home anyway, so I might as well get everything and sell everything that everything that Larry can buy, because as you know, Larry can only buy 10 of every item, right? So I don't know if he can buy all of my morphines, for example. We'll see. Let's talk to good old Venus here to see if she has some money for us. I don't need the money, but damn, I want it. That's like the main motto of a bunch of people in the world today. Even when they don't need the money, they want it. So you better give it to them.
Money, right? Been a while.
Thank you. And we played several annoying mods in a row in terms of like, or in a row in terms of like money, like how you handle the money in different mods and stuff. Now we are finally playing one that gives me. We had a break with the Clan Quest story playthrough, but most of the other mods I had problem with money. It's good to finally play one that is very kind in that sense. All right, so we have hacking 6 now. So let's just go get the rest of the items that we need here. Let's go to 3. The good thing about this is the one thing that you can skip in the game that you will remember later. Skipping the apartment 3 here and the loot on the chest, on the safe. Because, oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is the one that you can let go because you will not forget it, because you have to come to the Haven all the time. Obviously, except if your Haven is not this one, if you're like a Tremere or Nosferatu. Or obviously, if you don't get the Haven at all, you also might forget. But if you get the Haven, normally you will come here a lot. So you are not going to forget this. And later, when you have enough hacking, you'll be able to come here, right? So if you need the money, chances are not really, but might as well get it. Just like the Posters quest, we don't need to do it, but we probably will.
Hey, stop.
Oh, that's the first time I've ever done that before. I've never done this. Oh man. I actually came down early. Well, see you, bro. I don't think he's going to follow me. He's got a floor anyway. That's a new one. So he usually is back there, like in the kitchen area, but I jumped too early, really. So yeah, whatever. Someone follow you today?
Oh, you're back.
Oh, I see.
I'm just glad you're... I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, really? Nothing, excuse me, still here, come with me. Alright, so let's just feed on the guy because I took some damage here. Let me get the quest for Cafe Cavalieri here. Email, sure. Sunrise, Gambits, this is Hollywood, there you go. So no Kindred for Hire quest line in this one. Which is kind of annoying because now that I'm not playing with the Toreador, I could totally take the hit. In terms of humanity here, but eh. It is what it is. As I said, this has some aspects of Clan Quest, but like not all the aspects, probably. Or possibles. The sound files play after you feed on the guy. It's cool. Alright, so I guess I'll have to come here during my Hollywood quest here. Get him out as long as the trench is lasting, sure.
I promise it'll be done by the time you get back.
Okay, good. There you go, finally.
It's you. Earlier tonight, you were...
No, it wasn't me.
Want you dead? What?
Alright, Heather promised me to stay indoors until this is over.
I will.
There you go. Alright guys, so I don't need to talk to her anymore. We already got the loan money, we already got the blood doll that we're not going to have anymore. Oh, sorry, I forgot about the items. We should get them to sell here. So the only one that I don't need is this one. So the other ones I can get all of them. You're here. Let me drop some blood packs here. I'm going to walk around with only one. I don't think I need the rest. Not yet, at least. Oh, wait. Give me that. This looks like... This song feels like a Dawson's Creek song. Just like some dudes on the pier. Talking about how their lives are difficult when they are rich dudes in their 20s. Healthy, you know. One of those things. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so I'm really glad that we saved Heather here. So as you saw there, I actually had to like prone her a little bit to be able to actually get the... not prone her. What's the word? Prod her a little bit, I think. I don't know if that's correct to use that in that context, but you guys know what I mean. I had to poke her around a little bit to actually get what I needed. The reason why I did that is because I thought, man, I have enough dialogue like lines with her already, and I did enough main quests here, so I should be able to get the dialogue. But because in this mod she's like a different version, she has like the companion mod on top of it and the unofficial patch and so on, so that made me think that maybe I just needed to talk to her more this time around, and it worked. So if you want to save her too, just do that before you go to Hollywood.
My man.
My man. You can have it. You can have it. Here. Here. I don't know why I walk around with this. So you can have both of these. Now let's sell the rest of the stuff. For the fetish, yeah. Not this. There you go, so we have 5,000. That's great. Oh man. Was like I remember, I think it was like Extreme, right? That I barely had any money. But I'm already mixing it up with Final Nights 2, which is also another one that I didn't have enough money. And now I look at this, I'm like 5,000 in. And I don't need this money for anything other than buying the next set of clothing. It's crazy. Yeah, this vampire thing is really working out pretty well, I guess. Oh, the business card, sure. Now I have tons of space here so I can get these random items. Squares of Death.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
Thank you. Alright, now we have the chalice. Another thing that's going to be great is going to have a normal fight with the Chang brothers. In most of these mods, when they show up, they are way more annoying, but this time around it's going to be pretty chill. You guys remember like the huge struggle we had with them in Extreme, right? This time, not so much. Oh, the gargoyle. Oh, the gargoyle is going to be awesome. Just normal gargoyle. Nothing crazy. So what else do we need to do here in downtown? I don't think anything. I don't need to talk to anything in the last round, I don't think. I think we're good to go to the Hollywood here. Let's just do it.
Hop in.
Sure, why not? Here. So I answered that one by myself. I didn't read the dialogue. Turns out the dialogue is the same as what I said, but that was not the case.
Ain't seen you here before.
Sure.
Isaac's in the...
I'll head over there. Let's go there first because otherwise this guy's going to annoy me a lot. Then the last thing we're going to do today was we're going to get buy the new armor. Oh, let me do the Cafe Cavalieri quest here real quick. Hello.
More wanted. Hello. Me.
Oh, I'm inflated.
I'm not sure. How so? You know, yes.
Sure. There you go. I like the idea of that quest, but that quest is basically a nothing quest once you like memorize the line. Not a whole lot that happens in that quest. Sir?
Good evening, neonate. Isaac Abrams.
I know.
So you... Perhaps. Go. What I want. Won't need... Go to the... Excellent.
Excellent. Okay. Alright, so next episode, guys, is going to be basically the baseline quest here in Hollywood. So because I just played, well, we played Extreme, right? But we played Clan Quest just before that. And Extreme, I forgot about Sammy, sorry. And Extreme was like so quick. I think it was like just like 10 or 11 episodes. So most of these are pretty fresh in my brain, so I can execute them pretty quickly. So who are you?
It's me.
Made a mistake. I don't know who you are.
But you're fake.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Sorry. My mistake.
Sure. Can we turn this lady into a goal with the companion mod? If we pick the right options, maybe? Man, I just came here, you guys are already kind of stuck here? It's crazy. It's gotta be a record. Yeah. Oh my god, citizens these days.
The moon is out, everyone's in dreamland, and you've tuned into the
Dead of Night. Oh hey, the lady's here, so maybe we can do the scenario. But in my other playthrough, the scenario was not available, so I don't know what's up with that. No, it's just a random lady here. There you go. But I'd much rather this lady than the other guy that starts talking bullshit about the items here. Like, dude, this is amazing, dude. I'd much rather have the lady walking around here than the other guy.
What's up? Always.
Both cereal.
Yeah. I'm glad.
Okay. Alright, so this sucks. A lot. Then Western DW PPC. So this, I think, might be the code, right? The Anaconda. But a different version. Okay, so let's see how he looks in the third clothing here. Let's see. My man. He's even more suspicious now than he was before. It was like he started as weird, then he became like incredibly suspicious. Now this guy has like criminal written on his forehead, like terrorist. He looks like every single villain from every action movie from the 80s and the 90s. My god, this man, he doesn't give a fuck. Oh Jesus. So let's just get the tape and go back to Isaac here real quick, and then we'll finish here. But man, this guy. Oh Jesus Christ, man. Oh yeah, wait. I need to go to the cafe. Sorry, I forgot about that. Oh man. Man, I forgot about so many basic things during the museum quest too. I was like, whoa. That's crazy. Chicken? Americans seem to love the chicken bucket, or the bucket of chicken thing. They talk about it a lot. Shows up a lot in movies and TV shows and stuff. And I like it too. It's not that it's bad. It's just not part of our culture here. It exists here. We can buy it here. But it's not something that we do a lot. It's not like, oh, what should we eat today? I don't know, pizza or like a bucket of chicken wings. That's not a conversation ever here. We eat different stuff. Okay. Right, 7. So the next point has to be in intelligence. We need to raise our research. We are going to have 1 point in scholarship, so we are going to have 8, right? But at that point, we'll still need to have 9. So we still need 1 point in intelligence here, at least. Also, stealth is kind of low right now. Other than that, I don't think there's anything else like jumping at me right now to like. Maybe like getting more points to put on presence, but again, presence at this. Oh, I forgot to get the PC book. Sorry. So presence at this point seems to be handling everything pretty well. So as I said before, that's the best method to play mods that have like new disciplines, but you're not sure exactly what's the application, or if they are not strong enough, or they are too specific, and so on and so on. Always pair it up with a activated discipline. So either celerity, presence, potence, fortitude, and so on. So you always have a backup plan. Here. Oh wait, I just got a book. Yeah, not the book, the tape. Wait, I need to talk to the guy. Yeah, I was like, half of my brain was like, go talk to Abrams. The other half was like, dude, you haven't even talked to the guy yet. Yeah, that's rough. Come on, dude.
Tape? All right. Oh, you. Every place. I don't have. What the? Oh, Christ!
Yeah, so the last thing we're going to do here is to go to the PC. To get the info about, what's the name of the lady? Ginger Swan, right? I think. Such a weird name. Alright, so I think we did a lot today. Even though I talked a lot too, but at least I was still doing stuff. Alright, so here. Swan. Alright guys, there you go. So the next episode we are going to continue Hollywood here. We're probably going to do all the base quests here in Hollywood. So in terms of sheet building here, because this is my second run with the mod, I already knew basically what I want to do here. But if you want to keep raising tempors and presence, or like not presence, but if you are playing with a different character and you have like mortars or the Melps discipline here and you want to keep raising them alongside a different discipline, the best advice that I can give you is like do that early. Have them to be like 3 or 4 early, and then you deal with everything else in your sheet. Because even if you don't have enough like hacking or things of that nature for certain parts, you have plenty of points to put on them later. But if you're having trouble early with certain disciplines, having the backup discipline high 2 early is going to be like key. We entered downtown, I think, with like presence 3 already, right? If I'm not mistaken. And we haven't had a single problem since. So as you can see, it's holding up pretty well. So I think that's the way to go in this mod. So you can use the new disciplines, but if you feel like most of the skills on them are not like that useful or they're too specific, you can just use the other one and just use the specific in the specific situations in which they are really good, you know. So use them in niche situations. Alright guys, so that's it. So we'll continue this in the next episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next episode.